we want to spend the rest of the program here in closing up in honoring Willis Carto
Forgot the awards part of the ceremony.
and present awards, of course. And the one that's going to present these awards will be Paul Angel, who is arguably the biggest asset of American Free Press. He puts everything together, on
It's
the
funny,
most part.
you left off the E.T. the other day.
His recent masterpiece has been the book that he put together of Jim Traficant, but almost all the books that you read from American Free Press and the Barnes Review, Paul has put them together. And when you read the American Free Press, although Paul doesn't get all the credit, if Paul doesn't put it together, it just doesn't get done. That's how it is. So give this man a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much, and thanks everybody for coming. Hey, listen, we have had a lot of loss. I just want everybody to know that I'm still alive, and that is a good thing. And you know, when I was putting this program together last night after everybody abandoned me, leaving me with this information, I came across that Mencken quote, and I thought of Jim and Willis when I saw it. The most dangerous man to any government is the man who is able to think things out for himself without regard to the prevailing superstitions and taboos. Almost inevitably, he comes to the conclusion that the government he lives under is dishonest, insane, and intolerable. I think that Jim and Willis both understood that and tried to pass that knowledge on to as many people as they possibly could. And of course, I did get a little emotional when I was thinking about that, but hold on. No, I'm not pregnant. That's good. Sorry, Tara. Well, listen, Mrs. Carto has come a long way because to be here because I had an award planned for Willis, and I bought it before. Pete, I have him in the corner. Yeah. I had planned a little award for him. It was a Lifetime Achievement Award. Willis hated public awards. He hated the spotlight, the literal spotlight, not the publication. And bring me this clock, would you? And so when I went to the award, it's the clock. When I went to get the award, I saw this clock and I thought to myself, this clock is going to stop working before Willis Carto is going to stop working. And then we got the bad news. Well, Mrs. Carto has come out here to see this. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award, and Willis would have been extremely embarrassed, which was what I was really looking forward to. For his 7 decades of service, we're talking 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, through 2015. He was integrally involved in every aspect of American Free Press. He could run up and down the stairs faster than I could get up and down the stairs. He thought faster than I did. He was constantly working on ways to get new subscribers, to bring younger people in, to keep the people that were still involved in American Free Press happy with the publication, to do polls and everything else. He was integrally involved in the Barnes Review. He was probably the man most singly responsible for starting and maintaining the Holocaust revisionist movement, and many of the publications that are out there today, he had a hand in. We may not be involved in them now, but it would be nothing without what he did. And Willis, here it is, right here. Hopefully you can see that and you're not too embarrassed. Now, Mrs. Carter, you do not want to come up here now, do you? No, no. She's still grieving. I'm so glad that you made it out here. Very good. Listen, thank you, Willis. Thanks for employing me for all these years. Thanks for teaching me just about everything I know. This is for you. But we are here for Jim Traficant as well. And, you know, poor old Jim. He had a tragic flaw, and we all know it. We've discussed it already. It was just a horrible thing. Personality. Something must have been dropped on his head when he was a baby. I'm not sure. And this particular personality trait will get you to heaven, but it ain't getting you anywhere in Washington, D.C. And you know what it is. He told the truth, and he kept on trying to tell the truth, and he refused to stop telling the truth. And so we decided, well, how can we honor Jim, but for the next generation? And so, excuse me, it's the black. Yeah, my mistake. So we've come up with, this will be the first annual Jim Traficant Truth in Journalism Award. And I couldn't think of anybody better to give it to than the man who was just up here on the podium, Mark Anderson. Are you in the room, Mark? No, I didn't ask you to come up here and steal my thunder. No, I'm just kidding. Come on up here. Mark's been with American Free Press since we started. A lot of people think they can be journalists, like they think they can be advertising salespeople. Okay, fine. Some people can do it for a week. Some people can do it for a month, but very few people can do it week after week, story after story, grueling trip after grueling trip, year after year. 14 years he's been writing at least 2 or 3 stories a week. I could probably put a book of yours together that would approach 800 or 900 pages. So here it is, dedicated to Jim, with Mark being our first recipient. Jim Traficant, Truth in Journalism Award. I know that Jim, Mark, you want to say a few words? Just a few.
Totally unrigged and unexpected. I'll start with those words. I mean, Paul, thanks a lot, and Pete, and whoever made this decision. You know, this ties into me carrying forth Jim's torch on the Bilderberg funding. I'm just really happy to have received it and beyond honored. So thanks again, anybody and everybody who had a hand in making this decision. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
I picked his name out of a hat. Now listen, our next award is going to come as a surprise to the recipient, but this guy is an up-and-comer. He's got a great reputation. He's a West Point graduate, so that might give it away. He is highly respected in our movement. He is level-headed. He is well-liked. He is a go-getter. He has started a political party. He has started an organization. He's written a book. He has worked with multiple political parties. He goes across the political spectrum, okay, and tries to work with everybody, which is what we need in this, is to stop squabbling amongst ourselves and work with whoever we can to go in the right direction. As you all know in life, we have 2 choices when adversity hits. I've heard it all from everybody here. We either give up or we keep moving forward. Merlin Miller recently, come on up here, Merlin. Merlin recently went to Moscow. Why he went to Moscow to see those warmongering Russians, I have no idea. But tell me, were they as bad as they say?
Wonderful people. I felt like I was back in America back in the 50s and 60s.
So in his efforts to bring truth here about the Russian people and to stop this mainstream slander, I figured we'd come up with an award for you. This is the Global Peace Award for your efforts to not only unify the patriot movement here, but also to go out and find out what's happening overseas and see if what the mainstream media is telling us is the truth. We know it's not. Pete, want to chip?
Oh my God.
Pull it right out.
This is a beautiful award. I don't even want to touch it and ruin it.
Don't worry, the ADL already has your fingerprints. A few words.
Hold that up for everybody to see.
Thank you so much. This is totally unexpected, and I'm just so taken by it. And I don't know what we can do to bring peace to the world, but we got to try. And it starts here. It's all about unity, and these are great people here. We've got to get our own think tanks. We've got to unite in so many different ways. But thank you. I think I'll honor that.
I know that Willis had great admiration for you, Merlin, and that particular Peace Award I would have renamed it had I known, because Willis worked tirelessly to expose the horrors of war. Unless you've been to war, I don't think you'd know it. He had been. And I think that we're going to carry on that work there to keep on hammering home that these wars that we're in are a complete waste, not only of money, but of blood, life, and all the great people that are getting killed here. And it's just a tragedy. So that next year might be the Willis A. Carto Global Peace Award. I have one more for an up-and-coming journalist, a man who's under 50. I can't believe it. In our organization. Okay, this guy has already suffered enough at age 29. Bring that over to me, would you? This is from the Foundation to Defend the First Amendment. It's the Free Speech Award. John Friend, come on up here. Now, John has already been fired twice. I've been fired 4 or 5 times, but never for free speech. We'd like to present you with this for, suffering from what you've already suffered. The attack on you by the San Diego, was it San Jose? San Diego Union Tribune. John had maintained his own blog in which he had the audacity to place his actual opinions on there, but somehow, in 2 instances now, people have searched him out, exposed him for his political incorrectness, and he's been fired. Not one of those times have his employers had any problem with his work performance, just the opposite, right? So I think right now at your age, to have been fired twice for freedom of speech is a real badge of honor. I don't think you can wear this on your lapel, but here it is. That's from the Foundation to Defend the First Amendment.
Well, it's kind of funny. It was actually exactly 2 months ago today, I think. I was contacted by a reporter for the San Diego Union Tribune, and he had been tipped off to my website. And of course, I was trying to find out who in fact tipped him off. I'm still researching that, see if I can get to the bottom of it. But he wanted to interview me. He wanted to write a story about it. I went into work the very next day, and of course, I was immediately fired. So I ended up talking to this reporter. He ended up writing an article about it the very next day. And if you read the article, if you just Google John Friend, San Diego Union Tribune, it actually portrays me in a very positive light. It says I was very well liked in the office. I did not bring my politics into the office. Of course, it called me an anti-Semite and a white supremacist. But if you actually look at the definition, or what the word anti-Semite really means, it's somebody who states basic facts about Jews and Jewish power and influence in this country and around the world. So I'm actually a proud anti-Semite. And then, of course, when I was denounced as a white supremacist, and again, if you look at how that word is actually used in our modern discourse, being called a white supremacist is simply somebody who recognizes that they are a white person and they have unique political interests that are most certainly not being championed by anybody, certainly in the mainstream. So again, I'm a proud white supremacist too. So.
I am not an anti-Semite. I have nothing against Arabs. Listen, we have lost a lot of people recently. But this is a war. This is a battle. Okay, these people put a lot of time and energy into their careers. I'm talking between the people we've talked about, literally 200 years between them all. Could it be 250? Jim Tucker was in this for 50 years. Willis was in this for 60 years. Mike Piper was in this since he was 25 years old. Edgar was in it for decades, okay? We have to carry on, and that's what we're going to do. As I said, you have 2 choices: give up or keep moving forward. I live
70 years for Willis.
70 years
55
since he was.
2015, 70 years.
No kidding. Wow, you got a long way to go, Pete. Yes, we'll have to have an award for your walker when that happens. But anyway, I really thank everybody for coming here. You're the reason we do this. Continue to support American Free Press and the Barnes Review and any other independent news media that you can find or like. I think we've got a long way to go here. It's going to be a tough battle. I'm 55 now. I've been doing this myself for, I think, since I was 30. I worked with Willis for 25 years. And it was trying at times because of the financial situations we had, the things that we all went through together. But we're still standing, and we're going to keep on going forward. So Mr. Rizzoli has had great comments, Mr. Glazer here, and all the rest. And Cindy, think of the things that these people have been through. John Friend at his young age. You know, what I've been through is next to nothing, okay? Besides working with Pete a little too long, but I mean, really, there's bigger battles ahead, and so we're ready for it. I just want everybody to know that just because people pass away, it doesn't mean that the work that they pioneered isn't going to be carried on by others. We're here, we're ready, we got the torch, we're moving forward. Thank you.